Hello and welcome to another episode with the Radiance Chapter. It is a beautiful summer day outside, and I have a beautiful person sitting in the studio to talk about something even more beautiful than you can expect, okay? We are going to talk about all things intimacy. We're going to talk about sensuality. We're going to talk about biology. We're going to talk about physiology, and we're going to talk about our mental emotional state when we are thinking or doing any of these conversations. With that, I welcome Tamilynn Edwards.
Hello.
Hello.
Very excited.
This is so cool.
Yeah.
Tamilynn has come all the way from Windsor. So thank you.
You're welcome.
This is like so amazing.
You're welcome.
And she has made my summer day even more beautiful. Look at the way she's dressed.
Well, thank you.
Love
thank you. I'm like, it's a summer day. Let's have a little fun.
Yes.
Have a little pizzazz in there.
So just so everybody knows, Tamilynn and I are just not two friends having a simple conversation, which is kind of true, but she does come with receipts, okay? So we have Tamilynn Edwards, who's a board-certified clinical sexologist and a certified intimacy coach. She has been trained over the years and has worked in the field to help women, I'm going to say, regain their power and really fully understand their bodies and whatever that they're missing to be given as part of pieces of information or techniques or training. That's where Tamilynn fits right in. So here we go.
Ooh, I'm excited. That intro was just, hey.
Hey, girl, hey.
Yes, except I do want to add that
please do.
Not just women. So over the years, I'd say at least 80% of the people that I talk to are women. The other 20% are couples, actual husbands, partners who are like, I want to know how to either be a better lover or I want to understand more about my partner.
So I love that you work with both sides of the coin. I want to know what mindset puts you in a place or a path which brings you to do the certifications or work in this particular field?
Oh, okay. I'll start with the messy. So the messy is you're a young woman kind of learning your body. So you're like 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. You're kind of understanding, whoa, okay, things are changing in my body. And in a very strict Roman Catholic household, these
Is that where you came from? A strict Roman Catholic household.
So even the conversation about periods was not a conversation.
No.
It was, I truly and honestly thought that I was dying. I didn't know what was happening to my body. My mother was not willing to have the conversation at all whatsoever. You're not dying, you're going to be fine. To fast forward to about, I want to say maybe 3-6 months after that, and I only had a period once. I had a period when I was 15 going on 16.
Okay.
And then I didn't have another period again until I think probably about 8 months later. So my mom brought me to the doctor, and she automatically assumed it was because I was having sex. I was not. And fast forward, I get the diagnosis. Back then, it was polycystic ovarian.
PCOS.
Yes. Now they finally,
PMOS.
yes. So they have finally now transitioned and actually looked at the whole picture, and they've now changed that. But back then, it was polycystic ovarian syndrome. And the only information that I was told back then was, you will never have children. You will always be overweight. You will start growing hair. Your periods will be. So I got this gloom and doom picture. I think at that young of an age, you understand, but you don't get it, right? Because there is also no one navigating you through after you get a diagnosis, or any of those things. There's
It's like they just throw you.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, it's PCOS. Sorry. You're gonna die.
Here, I'm sorry to tell you that your periods are always going to be like this, because my periods went from, sometimes I would have a menstrual cycle for 3 months, sometimes I would have them for 6 months, sometimes I wouldn't have one for 8 or 9 months. Fast forward, I have my daughter. So I had my daughter when I was 18, had my son when I was 19, which is almost unheard of. Like in that young phase, you're still trying to learn your body and understand all those things. And back then, you didn't have Google.
Of course not.
Right? Like, you didn't have Google, you had Planned Parenthood, you had those things, but you didn't really have somebody who was teaching you about your body, what to look for, what not to look for, all of those things. Fast forward late 20s, I had a partial hysterectomy.
Oh.
And that's when, for me, I think everything really shifted. They do the partial hysterectomy, so they took my cervix and they took my uterus.
Left the ovaries.
Left the ovaries. They took the cervix because my mother also had a cervical cancer. So they took the cervix as a preventative, as a just in case. Again, great. Okay, so no more periods. However, what happens to your body after these things? And there was none of those conversations. None of that was happening. So even when I asked a question, it was either I was shut down, or that doesn't matter because you can't have kids anymore anyways, right? Because you also have to think of the medical system the way that it is. And what I know now to understand is most clinicians are not, never mind taught or trained in the sexological body work of our human anatomy. They know anatomy and that is it. And if you are not reproductive, that's not a conversation. They don't continue those conversations. You are almost non-existent, right? So then fast forward, I had a conversation with a friend, like, if you could do anything in the world, what would you want to do? And I was like, I want to stand on stages and talk to people about sex and relationships. And my friend's like, what? And I'm like, I don't know. So again, which then dove into research, right? So then I started researching, how do you actually do this? So then I found out that you could actually be a sex, I was like, what the? I was like, there's a thing? Like I can actually do this for a living? Like, for real? And back then, so almost, I want to say about 18, 19 years ago, there was no school per se. There was no certification programs in Canada.
Okay.
And the only place that I actually found was ASECT, US based. However, you had to go in with a social work, you had to go in with a master's already, or you had to go in with a doctorate in psychology, in one of those things. I didn't want to be a psychologist, and I have no desire to learn about, like, I just didn't at all whatsoever, because I honestly feel like, for me personally, that was adding a bunch of extra stuff to the stuff that I didn't need to know.
Got it.
You know what I mean? It's kind of like,
I do.
So I was like, never mind. So I just kind of put it on the back burner.
Yeah.
Fast forward, I sold bedroom accessories, sex toys for 18 years. So I have been so I have been in women's living rooms, kitchens, cottages, in churches, all across Canada and US, and training other people to be able to not just talk about sex, because I feel like a lot of times people forget that sex isn't necessarily what we are taught that it is. Sex is not penis vagina. That is not what sex is, right? So, but that's what we're taught. That's what we're trained to believe. So when you say the word sex, people automatically, they shut down, or they automatically go into that aspect of it. So I did that. And as I kind of transitioned into having those conversations with people, after I do a presentation, I'm talking about the uses of different bedroom accessories. Why are you using a sex toy on the clitoris? The fact that, again, there's double the nerve endings in the clitoris that there is in the penis. The sole purpose of the clitoris is for pleasure. So in that 18 to 20 years, I learned also about my own body.
Of course.
And as I learned about my body, and as I had more conversations with women, it really reminded me of how important this work actually is. So this is prior to you actually going through the certifications. This is while you were actively working in the field and talking to women and seeing what was going on. Yeah, and it all came about because I was looking for answers and nobody was giving me answers. I had questions, and if I asked the question, I was either shamed for asking the question, or I was shut down for asking the question. And I even remember a time being in a relationship, and exploring my own body, and my partner at the time, like, I don't understand why you're doing that.
Being
you
offended.
have me. Yes.
Yeah.
So then that adds an extra layer of shame.
This is not the first time I've heard this, by the way. Partners getting offended,
Yes.
being like, why do you have to do that? Because you got me to do this.
Yes.
That's my job. No.
Right. And then
Sort of.
Yeah. I mean, and that really kind of shifted not just my perspective, but the conversations that I was having with the women that I was actually meeting. Because I can come to your house, we're going to do the presentation, and in the presentation, I'm talking to you about your anatomy, I'm talking to you about your pleasure centers, I'm talking to you about actual intimacy. What does it feel like to have your partner touch you?
Yeah.
And again, sometimes it's just a shoulder.
Yeah.
And understanding that arousal starts in the morning.
Yes, it does.
You know what I mean? Like, all of those things are starting, but we have now been conditioned into and believing that the storybook that we see in Hollywood, that's how it's supposed to be, but that's not how our bodies are. So when we see that, and then we come home and we're trying those things and we don't understand what's happening to our body, who do we ask?
Yeah.
Now people have Google.
Yeah.
But before Google,
people also have resources like you now, right?
Yes.
Which was not the case when we were talking about this
Yeah.
stuff. So this is a new world.
Well, it is, especially now for a lot of the women that I'm talking to now, because fast forward, I was able to actually find a program to become certified.
Which is amazing.
So I did a master's level. I did everything. And it's wild because there is a portion of the program that stretches you as a human being to ensure that you're in the right place, to be able to hold space for people.
Do you mean psychologically?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So basically, what happens is prior to COVID, you would actually go to a location, everybody that's in training, and these are obviously professionals, non-touch, so on and so forth, but you would previously go to a location and you are immersed into 72 hours of content, whether it is film, whether it is theater, whether it is like you're watching. So you're seeing everything from BDSM, you're seeing everything from different types of play. Well, not even an appetite. So what it's designed to do, it is designed to take the veil off you. Because how can I, as a coach and as a sexologist, sit across from a person or a couple and not judge?
I love that.
Because this is the reason why people don't go to people like me.
Because they get judged.
Because they feel that feeling of being judged.
Yes.
So it's called a SAR, sexual attitude reassessment. So basically, it literally sits you in your stuff. As a sexologist, as a sex coach, as a therapist, even therapists have to do it as well. It makes you sit in your own shit.
Wow.
And I mean that in the sense of, maybe I've never been exposed to certain things, which means, can I actually allow somebody to sit next to me to say, this is something that I'm exploring.
Yeah.
But my facial expression needs to be able to not just allow you a safe space to share that, but a safe enough space to know that it's fine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we have to go through a SAR. So you're going through all of those different things. And I will tell you, my years of doing the toy parties and everything else really allowed me to sit in that SAR and be really present, because there were some things that I saw that I was like, people do this? I was like, wait, hold on. I'm like, okay, I'm interested, but I don't know if I want, I don't know, you know what I mean? And so the best part about it is, while you're sitting in it, you're also sitting in a small group with other people from around the world, mind you. So it's not just Canadians. So the program, you are looking at people from all backgrounds, from multiple different countries that are doing this program together.
And it's male and female.
Yeah, male and female.
Yeah.
And non-binary, right? So we're like in
all kinds of people.
And I took mine in South Africa from a South African cohort that actually did it. So as you're doing it, we watched you. Now we're going to come back. You're going to have some time, write down your thoughts, your feelings, what came up in your body. Because a lot of times, if I say something to you that may or may not be uncomfortable, because you've been trained a certain way, you may not have an expression on your face, but your body feels it.
Yes.
Somebody says something to you that is either offensive or makes you just feel uneasy. Where do you feel it in your body first? Because you're going to feel it in your body before your brain even connects to the fact that it was uncomfortable.
I love this.
Which is where a lot of the conversations happen. And I'm grateful, like I said, doing the toy parties, because after doing a presentation, I would go into a private consultation area so that people can ask me more private questions. And I will tell you, the majority of women ask the exact same question from all different ages.
Really?
Yeah, always. Do women ejaculate? Is it real? Can I really do that? Because my partner told me that there's something wrong with me because I can't. The lubrication, that one there, it's a hard topic for me because so many women are shamed into believing that because they are not lubricated at either first kiss or at first touch, that there's something wrong with them because their partner makes a reference to a previous partner. That's not the saddest part. Is everybody's bodies are different, number one. Number two, our bodies naturally produce it. And if your hormone levels are off, if your stress levels are off, it can completely dissipate. I could be completely turned on by what you're saying, what you're doing to me, but my body isn't necessarily responding, which doesn't mean that there's something wrong. So there's a lot of questions, which is then what really catapulted me into be like, no, I need to actually do this on a larger scale because it's all the same. Everybody asks the same question. And now doing the perimenopausal, like I said, so it's definitely been 20 years of becoming.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. 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 You're just hitting it all on the nail on the head and everything that you're saying. And I know this because these are conversations that do happen in girlfriends, friendships, when you get not that there's a lot of comfort that women can give each other because we're not brought up that way. I think
but there's a security.
There is, but while I'm going to say that society has tried to keep us apart for a very long time, and we are yet navigating the path back to ourselves, first to ourselves, and then to each other, and finding that, that connection, that attraction, the powerhouse that it becomes when women get together, because we've just been misled this whole time, through years and years of
and lied to, and to be fair, it is a blatant lie.
It is a lie.
You know what I mean? Because when I see women and I look at, multiple different types of cultures, yes, there's always going to be moments. There's always going to be those things that are happening with with females in general.
Yep.
However, we are our own worst enemies. We are also our own best friends. And a lot of times when women do not come together, that is where you find a greater level of depression, seclusion, all of those things. Whereas we are naturally recharged by being around other women.
And therefore the female effect.
Yes.
See, this is the reason why I'm trying to create that. Because, I've met so many women and I know so many, we've lived a life among all kinds of different people from all kinds of cultural backgrounds, ethnicities. And sometimes they don't feel fulfilled, even though they have a beautiful home, lovely family, great husband, great relationship, children, everything. But they're missing that female connection. And once you get that, and life changes.
It literally is like a flower blooming. You're like, whoa, I didn't know.
And I think that your toy parties would be a place that would have allowed that to happen. And it is so important. It's such a taboo too, right? They used to call them Fantasia parties. I don't know if they still do.
So Fantasia was a company that did the parties.
Oh, it's like Kleenex.
Yes.
You think it's called a Kleenex. It's not.
Yes.
Okay.
So Fantasia was an actual company. And women across the country would actually apply to be wholesalers, and Fantasia would send their consultants out to be trained by doctors, urologists, and whatever to be able to know the proper terminology of certain things.
I didn't know that.
And because of that, born other companies around, most likely North America, to do very similar things. It heightens all of the other women that I've met over the years, their experiences, so that when I went into the training, I had a better understanding of the actual information and how to hold space for somebody who's really, again, like you said, trying to find her way back to what does it mean to be feminine? What does it mean to be intimate with yourself? What does it mean to be sexual and sensual? What does that mean? And I think one of the other things that I find that I do very well at is give women permission, because I feel like for us, that's what we need.
Yes.
Because we've been conditioned to ask
For permission.
Yes.
Yes.
Whereas if you're sitting across from somebody who is holding space for you, it allows you to kind of let go and, oh, okay, so I can have these conversations with my partner. Because I think that's the other one, right? And something that I want to make sure that I let people know, a lot of the same information that we didn't get, they didn't either.
Well, of course.
You know what I mean? Like they
got a lot of information from porn, I think, but
but not even just the information itself, but the anatomy portion of how and why things work is the same information that we didn't get.
Yes.
Right? Because even having a conversation with men, they're like, well, why is it like this? They don't understand.
Don't know much either.
But that's what I mean, right? Like at the end of the day, like I do coach men. However, my primary focus is women. But I want to make sure that I remind people that a lot of times what happens is if a woman's saying, I think I want to actually do coaching, or I'd love to do one of your programs, I always give them the option to bring their partner along, specifically because the same information that I'm sharing with you, I guarantee he didn't get it.
Yeah, he doesn't know. For sure.
And it's not that he doesn't want to be supportive, it's he doesn't know how to be. So there's opening that door and opening that conversation. And then that's when you can kind of go from there, because I think that's the other thing is they don't know what they don't know. And we, because we are who we are innately, we will go looking for a solution. When there's something wrong, we notice something feels off. We don't have a name for it. Something feels off.
Because we're based with instincts.
Yes, and that women, intuitive nudge to know. No, like something, I need some, you know what I mean?
You know, they call it the mother's instinct when it comes to kids, but you actually have, prior to being a mother, you have that instinct. You know how women, I'm going to bring this in because it's part of that instinctive behavior when you're aware of your surroundings at all points of time. I know you're sitting here as just you and I, but
you still pay attention.
Still that whole peripheral vision thing, like that, it's not just for driving. It's everywhere. So we are hardwired for this kind of stuff. And then society has trained us further to really, really hone this skill where we really are, we can pinpoint what might be the issue where, at what point of time. We ignore it because we're trained to ignore most of the things, and we are told it doesn't matter, and that we're being a little too aggressive, or a little too, or being dramatic, or whatever the scenario is, which is none of that is actually true.
No.
If we were to just lean in a little bit more positively into what your instinctive feelings are. And I think half the women population of the world will understand themselves that much more if that leaning in was happening. It would give us a chance to mute out all the other noises and kind of really believe in who we are. Earlier you said women are their own best friends and also their worst enemies. I feel that we are more the worst enemies because the society has pushed us into looking like that, into being like that, because, you know, there are standards that somehow somebody has decided to set up. Like, people believe that is the way the world is supposed to be. But that's not true.
No. And generally, even like in not just the coaching part or the intimacy part, I try to remind people, or just even ask the question, what do you want? Just what do you want? And if you can't say it out loud, write it down. It doesn't have to go anywhere. It doesn't have to go anywhere. Do you want to experience your body differently? Do you want to experience your relationship differently? Nobody, and I think this is the thing, is when we ask those questions, people automatically go straight to the negative.
Yes.
If I ask that question, it must be because something's wrong.
Something's wrong.
No.
Yes.
What if I just want more?
Yes.
Because, and I'll give you an analogy.
I like analogies.
A bunch of us are going to go to a buffet.
Okay.
You know that you are allergic to shellfish. I have no allergies at all whatsoever. But we're all going to go to the same place, right? Why would you go to the shellfish to put some on your plate when you know you already have a sensitivity, an allergy, you have something to it? So you're going to continuously keep subjecting yourself to something that is not healthy, that is not good for you, versus looking around the room at the full menu of everything that could be. I go to a buffet, and I do not eat a lot, but I will go to a buffet and I will get 2 plates.
Same.
I will put a little bit of this, a little bit of this. All my favorites are going to be over here, but all the new stuff is over here.
I love this.
Right? Like, so what is wrong with doing that in our life? We do it when we eat, which is, again, a sensory experience, a sensual, intimate experience. Why do we not do that in our relationships? And it's not just our romantic relationship, it's a relationship with ourselves. Why do we not do this with the relationship with ourselves? Try something new. Instead of a hot shower, try a warm shower. Instead of a deep tissue massage, try a stone massage. You know what I mean? Like, we are stuck in this box and believe that this is how it has to be. No, it is not. And how are you supposed to open up those pleasure centers if you don't allow yourself the space to explore a little bit? And the only way that you're going to do that, like I said, is I think of it as going to a buffet.
I feel that some of that is a problem, or unexplored, not a problem, but like unexplored, because of lack of knowledge and lack of conversation.
Fear.
And fear on top of that. So this is how fear works, right? Like, fear is put into a place where everything else is withheld. That's where fear comes in. You don't have the education, you don't have the knowledge, you don't have the intimacy, or you don't have the partnership that you need, you don't have the friendship that you're requiring. You know, your body doesn't feel, it's because for us, for women, safety is one of the most important, the first step to intimacy.
Yes.
Because if you don't feel safe, even if it is a long-term marriage relationship or a brand new relationship or any whatsoever, even a one-night stand, if you want to call it, if you're not feeling that safety, your body will not respond.
No.
Your mind might want to, like you said earlier, your body won't respond. And yes, hormones, perimenopause, menopause, biology of the body, that is obviously combined with the anatomy of the body, and everything starts from the brain and the gut and your feelings. All of that gets overlooked because fear, because of lack of information, lack of knowledge, withheld information, and or non-research, like never really paying attention into it, never really giving it importance. It's not important. I don't care how women feel or what women's body. They're built for one particular purpose, and that's what we're going to do with it, right? That's where I feel a lot of it comes through, and then people like you show up, and then you're like, wait a minute.
Like, can we turn that upside down?
Let me correct you.
Right? So there's that huge disconnect. And then that's where and people can do some research on this, it's called the orgasm gap, where, again, partners with penises, you're looking at, and these are not the exact numbers, but you're looking at anywhere between 80 to, I think it's 89% of penis owners, every single time they have intercourse, which is not sex, intercourse, they actually have ejaculation. Whereas for women, people born with vulvas, they are, I think it's only like 40, maybe 56%, if that. I think even that's stretching.
Yeah.
And that's also because there is a huge disconnect in the anatomy and where and how long and all of these different things. So when she ended up coming back to me, she's like, okay, so I want to know what it feels like. Like, I keep seeing it online. She's like, and I don't know what this is. And I'm like, first and foremost, just, not for everyone. It is, toe curling. I want to pull my hair out. Not every single human being is going to experience it like that.
Yes.
You also have to remember, if that's where you saw it, it probably was produced that way.
To be like that.
So everybody's body's going to be different. So that's where having that conversation about doing something, what I like to have my clients do, is a mirror exercise. Actually looking at your vulva, looking at the clitoris, actually looking at the folds, looking at your body, and starting with some manual masturbation so you understand what feels good to your body. Fast forward, now she's inviting her partner in so that he can actually see what she actually likes.
That's really cool. I like that.
And through that experience, she's like, I think I know what that is now. I didn't know, I never felt that before. And then that's where it kind of opens the door for having better conversations.
Yeah.
Because what happens is
having better sex.
Yeah, and that's the other thing too, because when you're able to have an orgasm, and orgasm should not be the goal.
No.
It's the destination too. Yeah. It's all the play, all the sensuality, all of the intimacy in between the start and the finish, right? Yeah. You want that experience to, allow you to explore what could be.
Because that is the sensory experience.
Yes.
That is the emotional connection.
Yes.
And women need the emotional connection.
Yes.
We just need it to be there. Otherwise, the whole concept of quickies, like, I think this is enough said. But
I mean, they have a time and a place.
Well, really depends.
Yeah.
And I think it's a very small window in a woman's cycle.
Yes.
Where that actually works. And
yes.
I don't understand why they're so big and wide and everything. But I mean, I do understand. Let's be real.
Yeah.
But like, I don't at the same time, because how is it that nobody has ever protested and be like, no,
yeah,
that doesn't work for me.
But I think that's the other thing, is giving you permission to say, no, that doesn't work for me. Because
permission.
Because this is what happens, right? You know what you know.
Yes.
And until somebody gives you permission to explore outside of what you know, will you believe that there's more than what you know?
Always just living in a box.
Well, yeah, and again, the vast majority of women, penetrative sex is not their favorite sex.
Oh, I know. Yeah,
right? Like,
I've heard that multiple times.
You know what I mean? And yes, it is a vast array of
good to get it out as fast as possible.
Well, yeah. Whereas it's that journey to that.
Yeah.
And because for us, for women, because it is a mind-body connection, and then you add in perimenopause, you add in menopause.
I do want to talk about all of that.
You add those in, and that's where, again, the lack of the hormones shifts the way my body even feels.
So let's talk about it. So, the way that nature has seemed to create all beings, okay?
Yeah, I feel like...
Yeah, you like this conversation. We are created in a particular... I call it a blueprint. And blueprint, the reason I call it a blueprint is because until a certain time of your lives, all of us are built the same kind of way around that particular situation, which is reproduction.
Yes.
And the whole point of humanity of Mother Nature, trees, plants, bees, is pollination, is reproduction, is having babies, is creating more things, not just people, not just animals, trees and plants. All of this stuff is based from one concept, is that life needs to keep going, right?
Yeah.
Life begets more life.
Yeah.
Exactly. So there's a certain point of time in our lives, which is why I think, such a bad way to say it, but I'm going to say it because, child marriages.
Yes.
Okay. Because our reproductive system comes to fruition, women come to fruition, it used to be like 14, 15 years of age. Now it's a little earlier.
Yes.
Now we're looking at 10, 12. So, that's changing. We're not acknowledging it, though.
Which is, and the foods that we're eating, what we're putting into our bodies is actually producing a lot of that, which is, again, another reason why so many babies are not being produced before that 30 to 35. Like, there's a whole, and
this is such a deep topic. I know you're trying to find your way.
There's a whole lot of scientists who are dedicating their time to this research.
Thank God.
Because it's going to become an epidemic.
It is becoming an epidemic.
Because this is what's happening, right? And I don't want to go into all of the different hormones and things like that in the food and everything else, because it creates something else. But that's ultimately one of the main reasons why these things are happening so early.
Well, you are what you eat is what we always say, but we never believe it.
Yeah. And I think, too, that's where education is one of the greatest superpowers that we could ever have, which is, I think, one of the reasons why when I talk about perimenopause and menopause, why it breaks my heart, because multiple cultures outside of Western culture revere their elder women specifically because they have gone through and they have the knowledge, wisdom, and the guidance to guide the next generation. But in westernized culture, women in that demographic have been shamed to not talk about what happens to your body in peri and in menopause.
And shut out.
Yes. So the vast majority of people that follow me, or, we have conversations, like my mother never had this conversation with me. My grandmother never had, and my grandmother, she never even said she had. No, she did.
Yes, she
did.
But
what happened was she was taught to suppress it.
Yep.
She was taught that what was happening in her body was just a part of aging, was just a part of getting old, and that was okay. And then when I come along, I'm like, I am not okay with this. This is not okay. I'm in the middle of a presentation with 250 people, and I can't remember what the hell what I was supposed to say. A hot flash, literally, and I explained it to somebody the very first time I ever experienced it. It reminded me of being at a bonfire and getting some marshmallows and putting a marshmallow on a fire. And when you take the first layer of the marshmallow off and the rest of it's like ooey gooey, that's what the hell that shit felt like inside my body. The 99-degree heat outside is nothing compared.
I agree.
Nothing. And I'm supposed to be okay with that?
Yeah.
The vaginal dryness, I'm supposed to be okay with that shit. Irritability? No, that's not okay. That is not okay. And even conversating with my mom now and other women, my mom doesn't remember. No, she remembers. And if she doesn't remember, that's probably because when it hit her cortisol levels, her estrogen, her estradiol, the testosterone, progesterone levels had tanked. So those memory, which they're doing some great studies now, even showing that a larger portion of women who are in that early mid stages of dementia and Alzheimer's never did any hormone replacement, never did anything because they were in that generation in the early 90s who would have been told, no, don't do that. And that's where those memory losses, this is why I tell people brain fog is no joke. When you start experiencing some of those things.
The Women's Health Initiative.
Yes. And when you start experiencing, because there's a vast array of symptoms, not everybody's symptoms are going to be the same, but when something feels off,
Yeah.
Know that you are not broken. There is nothing wrong with you. And that, yes, you need to have a conversation with your doctor because that one symptom turns into something else.
Yes.
And I'll say this on that is for men, this is why you want to talk to a urologist. You want to talk to menopause specialists. Here's the reason why. They're now showing that it's anywhere between 16 to 18 months before a man has a heart attack, that there are physiological signs on his body, his sexual functioning and organs that are failing before the heart attack happens. Do you know why?
No.
Blood flow.
Jeez.
So erectile dysfunction, blood flow, not all, again, not all, but
we're looking at
but we're looking at, you know, erectile dysfunction. Again, it's a blood flow issue.
It is, yeah, it is.
Well, heart attack is a blood flow issue.
Wow.
But because they don't talk about it,
wow,
they just stop having intimacy. They start working more. They start ignoring it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
I do.
Those are some of the things that start happening that lead to. So this is the reason why now the World Health Organization is now adding to the center sexual health and functioning. Because at the core, you can most likely diagnose, prescribe, or look at any part of your body and look at where the sexual functioning is and notice where things went wrong.
Wow.
Or where things need help. Because again, mental health for perimenopause, menopause women. When brain functioning starts to decrease, brain fog, blurry vision, all of these things that are starting happening here, because again, you have estrogen receptors in every orifice of your body. Well, if you are losing and decreasing estrogen and testosterone starting in your 30s, and because we are now running children around, working full-time, running a household, we are also managing partners, managing side businesses to keep up with the Joneses, to keep up with the world that we live in. We are now, and for a lot of people that are in that stage of life, they're also now helping aging family members, which is a stress in itself. So all of those stressors, right, so all of those stressors, cortisol levels.
Yes.
When your cortisol levels increase, the hot flashes come even more. And with those hot flashes, because now your body is so dysregulated, blood flow, blood function, vaginal dryness, irritability, urinary incontinence. All of those things are all sexual functioning. All of them. Wow. And when you start noticing, I want my partner, but I just don't have the desire. I want to be close to my partner, but every time he touches me, it feels gross. And some people feel, and it's not I don't love my partner. No. That's why I said in quotations earlier about the one client that I worked, has nothing to do with love.
No.
It has everything to do with the fact that we have been trained away from noticing our own bodies, noticing what feels good, and ignoring what doesn't feel good.
Yeah.
And something that I do for myself is this. When I know what I don't like, the more of what I don't like, the more of what I know that I need and that I want. I know I don't like X, Y, and Z.
Method of elimination, somebody would call it.
Yes. But it's the easiest way to eliminate all of the other noise, the chatter.
Yes.
All of it. I don't like the way my boss is treating me. I don't like my work environment. I notice that I am extremely tense. I need a massage therapist, a chiropractor. I need all of those things more often when I work at this type of job. If you also look at the vast majority of women specific who change careers or become entrepreneurs are perimenopause, menopausal women.
Yes, actually that's true.
Yeah.
And I know that for a fact.
But that's what I'm saying. But do you know why? Because now it's not even that I've come home to myself. I know who I am. but I've been suppressing who that is.
Yeah. And
To
that's
keep up with the
bubbling out.
Joneses, to work at a job that I absolutely hate because I have a mortgage, because I need to do this for my kids, because I need to do this for my partner, because I need to do this. But if you are not 100% ever, nothing ever works.
Just feel like a conspiracy of the society to keep women locked in and like,
Because we are
stressed
powerhouses.
out
We
and-
are powerhouses.
because if we were to let go, the world will be a whole different place.
yes.
I say that all the time.
Yes.
So that's my belief in like the idea. We talked about slightly earlier
Yeah.
because of my husband's tattoo, and we
Yes.
talked about Shiv and Shakti, and
Yeah.
Shakti is the all-encompassing powerhouse of the universe.
Yes.
So everything flows in and out of Shakti, and
Yeah.
if you hold her, make her submit, and you put her in a cage, then there is a bit of chaos, and
Yes.
and women in general do not get to be who they are because
Yes.
they're missing their Shakti element. They've
Yeah.
forgotten what Shakti is,
Yes.
what the internal power, because it comes from here.
Yeah.
It's the power of the womb.
Yes.
And that's what runs the world. Womb is what blooms. That's
Yes.
the idea of it, right? And everything that you're saying, like it's kind of mind blowing, but it's also
Yeah.
connecting all the dots.
Yeah, because now you're like, okay, no, this actually
Yeah.
makes sense. So I just want to piggyback on that, because I feel like for myself and for other women who've had their uterus taken out,
yes,
when they hear something like that, they assume, well, that's not for me,
yes, yes,
which then shuts them. They feel, and this is where having that conversation, it's larger than the word womb.
Yeah.
It's larger than that. It's encompassing who you were designed and created to be.
pretty much.
And a lot of times we also forget that once you're now, I can't believe I saying this, 9, 10, or 11-year-old starts her menstrual cycle,
I know.
it changes who she was designed to be.
I know.
When she is put on anything hormonal, it then changes again who she
Bane
was.
of my
It
existence.
changes the design and creation of who she was designed and created to be. Therefore, even in consultation, that is a question that I ask is, are you taking birth control? Are you taking anything at all whatsoever? Because again, a lot of times, yes, it's needed. However, going to see somebody who specializes in what it is that you're going through specifically is going to be better suited to know how to kind of navigate through some of that. Because again, like I said, yes, you've got your womb, you've got your uterus, you have the vaginal canal, you have all of those things, but I feel like that's the thing, is people forget how connected to the rest of your body
It is.
and to your mind that it is, and to your sensuality. How can you be more sensual? And people automatically, like I said, they assume sensuality has to do with sexuality.
Yeah, which is not
and
true.
being right. Whereas sensuality, I personally love the way my skin feels, and I'm not even kidding you.
Same.
Like I am that person. I'm like, I literally touch myself all the time. My daughter's like, "Mom, you're so weird." I'm like, no, like I literally, right? And I'm like, no, like I actually love the way it feels.
Yeah.
Whether you're touching me or I'm touching me, I love the way that it feels. But I also like certain fabrics on my skin and certain fabrics that I don't. That's very sensual. I feel like I walk a little differently.
Yes.
You stand a little differently. And that's why I always remind people, your shower time, your bath time, your prep time is so imperative. So find glimmers, find moments that you can be sensual with yourself.
Yep.
Which then will allow you to be it makes it a little easier to fall into sensuality with your partner.
Yep.
But if you are in that perimenopausal, menopausal phase, you need to have those conversations.
Yep.
And if you don't know how, I literally am.
That's where the coaching comes in.
Yeah.
You will help.
Well, and I've actually created mini workbooks for people that they can literally start going through. I even went ahead and created conversation starters, because I feel like that's the thing, is a lot
Are
of
these
people
online? Are
Yeah.
these links that maybe
Yeah.
we can add to
Yeah.
the conversation? Okay.
Yeah, because I feel like a lot of times people don't know what to say,
Uh-huh.
because they also don't want to offend their partner,
Which is such a
or
big
they
deal.
don't want to, or they don't feel comfortable with their doctor.
Oh, that's
and I understand why that would be. I truly do, because I fired my own doctor, for making a statement that I felt was just,
it's not.
and it wasn't even just you were being unprofessional. This is my body, and I am not about to experience this thing called perimenopause the way you think I'm supposed to. Oh no. Like, I'm not even kidding you. And he was like, with your family history of cancer. I was like, have you read the latest research? Like, my family history of cancer, I never had cancer. My mother had cancer. That has nothing to do with my body, and I'm taking care of all the things that I'm supposed to take care of. And you want me, because of her history, to not take progesterone for the hot flashes? Are you kidding me right now?
Can I just be like,
no.
Yeah. Do you know how many women have been told this?
Yeah.
Family.
Yeah.
Me. Can we talk about me?
Yeah.
My body? Can we look at that?
Yeah.
Can we have an individualized, like specifically looking at me instead of all the people that came before me?
Yes. And granted, I did make sure that I let him know. I do understand where that information came from. That's number one. Number two, I do also understand some of the fear. I am not choosing to live like that. If I die, I die, but I am not going to die with a dry vagina. And you know what I mean? Like, I'm not willing to die with a dry vagina that's shriveled up and hot flashes that make me want to kill people. No, like, I'm not okay with that.
We're not okay with that.
Your penis is not going to shrivel up.
I don't have one.
No, but that's literally,
mine's on the inside,
right? But that's literally what I said to him. I was like, your penis isn't going to shrivel up. It's going to get droopy, but it's not going to shrivel up.
Can I say something about that as well? Because we talked about contraceptives, and you said yes, it's great, and I agree with them. I'm not 100% against women not being able to have the choice of not wanting to have babies. I'm 100%.
But I think birth control is a joke.
Okay, thank you. Why is it that we are being subjected to this solely? Like, why could you not have come up? Why is there?
Because there is other things.
There are so many other things.
And do you know that estrogen and progesterone was actually created in the 40s?
Yes.
But it was never given to us?
Yes, I know.
Australia and the UK have always had it.
Yeah, except
they both have also been prescribing testosterone for women for years.
And can I tell you that when I talk to women and I talk about testosterone, they're like, oh, that's not, like, testosterone is a man thing. No! No, it's not just a man thing.
It's a fucking human being thing.
I'm like, when we say sex hormones, when we say reproductive hormones, men and women have the same hormones, okay? We got a couple extra ones. Let's be okay with that. That's fine. But that doesn't change the basic 3 or 4, actually, 4 that are the most important reproductive hormones. We both have them. And if one of us doesn't have one of them, there is trouble.
Well, and I always tell people, especially when I meet people that are in their 30s, going into their 40s, I just say, just for shits and giggles, what I would love for you to do is the next time your husband goes to the doctor and you go to the doctor, ask for both of your testosterone levels to be checked. Well, my doctor said that, I'm like, listen,
just do it.
Just do it. I said, because I guarantee, I said, and your estrogen levels. I guarantee he has more estrogen in his body than you do.
But there is no standard of testosterone that is prescribed for women.
Correct.
So if there is a reason,
but there is a reason for that.
Okay, I'd like to know the reason, because they prescribe it as like minimal doses of men to women to cover whatever women think they're going through.
Yeah. Well, so here's the thing. So this is what I will tell you. As somebody who has PCOS or whatever. Anyways,
PMOS.
Yes. So my testosterone levels have always been high, extremely high, like my whole life.
Yeah.
Okay. So when I'll use my experience to make it a little easier for people to really understand. So when I went for mine, what we did is, before I even went for my appointment, this is why you want to see a menopause specialist. You do not want to go to a gynecologist. You do not want to go to a family doctor. You need to see a menopause specialist.
At any time of life?
Well, generally you want to, I want to say like 35. Or when you start noticing certain things are off, that's when you want to start going.
Yeah.
So I went to see her, and before I even had my appointment, we did my blood work.
Yeah.
So that she can see my blood work before.
Yep.
Then the day that I went in, I got my blood work done again.
Oh, okay.
Then again 3 months later, and every 3 months for a year, we had them.
Practitioner.
And the reason for that is because technically there's a baseline. Here's what your numbers are, but everybody's going to be a little different. But because I have PCOS, my testosterone levels have always been high. Always. I mean, grateful for me that I haven't had the chest hair, the back hair, the facial hair. You know what I mean? Like, but there are some specific things that I did get. Voice change.
Yeah.
So that's the other thing that women will have to take consideration when they do choose to do testosterone. So we checked.
Deeper voices, you mean?
Yeah.
I've always had a deeper voice.
No, I know. But if you start taking it for longer periods of time, any of the changes that actually happen will be permanent.
Ah, more deeper voice.
For some women,
I'll
yes.
take it.
Again, depending, right? Right. So ultimately, and then I chose, so that we can pinpoint my numbers, I chose to do the lowest possible dose of testosterone just to see where my numbers are.
You still did that, even though historically it'll show that you have high testosterone.
Yeah. Because we did my numbers before I went in, then we did my numbers again, then we did my numbers. So we did my numbers every 3 months for a year. So then on month 8, I noticed changes around month 3, month 4. My hair was thinning. I was actually losing my hair. Then I also noticed, like, sex drive for me, I've always had because I have high testosterone. So for me, I've always had it. But the one thing that did change for me is I want it. Whereas
desire.
For a while, yes. Whereas for a while, I didn't. It just didn't. I just wasn't thinking about it.
So it changed desire. So they do talk about libido, right? Like that's
your
the
libido,
idea of testosterone is like if you have.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, and it will help with that. And then what we noticed, like I said, I also noticed for me specifically, a lot more irritable. Extremely more irritable.
Because of high testosterone? Oh, yeah. Okay. Fair.
Yeah. Like there was some things that I was just like, no, this is not okay. So then I went back, and I went completely off of testosterone because I have enough. Whereas my estrogen levels, and that's what we were trying to do, kind of balance them out to see.
Because if you take testosterone, it does also make estrogen.
Not enough. But not enough.
Okay.
Not enough. When you're in perimenopause
when you're already
and menopause,
pretty high in testosterone, it probably doesn't do it right.
Yeah, but it doesn't produce enough for you not to have the hot flash, for you not to have, right? So it's not producing enough to keep you going on a regular basis, right? Because you're going to decrease it more. And the same thing, testosterone levels, the vast majority of women are losing testosterone, where I am not, because I have PCOS.
Okay, got it.
So I'm not losing testosterone levels, probably like 0.25% a year, whereas the average woman, you're going to go from, say, you were at 100, these are just generic numbers.
So I think it starts at about 25.
Yeah, but that's what I mean, right?
30 years of age?
Yeah. But you notice, whereas for men and for us, it is a dip. For men, it is a decline.
It's a decline, yeah.
And they still have lots, because
that's the major one.
Yeah. So for us, it is a huge decline, and that's where that wake up in the morning one day and I just don't want to touch my partner. I just don't want to. That's what that is.
Yeah.
But to kind of move some of that along, that's where using bedroom accessories is going to help with that.
Do you have any with you?
I do.
Can I see them?
I do. Yes, you're so cute. So I'm going to give you this.
Oh.
I'm going to give you her.
The lovely Volvo.
And so one of the reasons why you would like to use this bedroom accessory is specifically because you are going to want to bring the blood flow to the head of the clitoris, allowing that sensation, allowing the sensation to go from your body to your brain. Right? Because if your brain's already turned off.
This is where all the sensation lives. this part. But we don't see this part because it's covered with this part.
Correct.
And that's why people call it vagina. Well,
Yes,
it's not.
yes,
but
where the vagina is internal, and though the clitoris is internal, the majority of it is internal. The head of the clitoris is external. It's made with the same erectile tissue as a penis is. The only difference is, again, it literally encompasses, and they're finally doing some really, really cool studies that are actually showing the full structure. Like, think about it. The clitoris.
They just did that.
Yeah.
In 2026, like in March or something, they just mapped the entire
clitoris.
The whole thing from the vulva, the vagina.
Yeah.
The
Whereas if you think about it,
the canal.
Yes. Whereas if you think about it, 2005. Yep. So 2005 is when just the structure of the clitoris was put in medical journals and dictionaries. So just allow that to sink in. Right. So
2005.
Yeah. Like it blows my mind because my kids are older.
Yeah. Than this.
Yes.
Or like, sorry, Home Alone.
Oh my God. Yes.
Is older.
Yes. Yes. Oh my God, I love that. I love that. So this is what I always suggest.
We don't have Catherine O'Hara anymore.
No.
Imagine that.
I know, right? So you always want to make sure that you're using a lubrication, right? So lubrication. And lubrication is going to be your best friend. Whether you are having intimacy either with a partner or with, partner with a penis, or if you're using lubrication with a toy. Always want to use lubrication, right? Because it's going to protect the lining, right?
So the expectation that you are going to get wet is a little...
It's skewed.
It creates guilt if you don't. Whereas I think we want to put it out there.
Yes.
It has nothing to do
with desire or arousal.
It has to do with your mental bodily function that allows you to feel, or the body to secrete the right kind of fluids. And that is based not on anything other than your biology and your anatomy.
Yeah, I mean, and the bonus is if you are seeing a menopause practitioner, they will probably, my hope is that they would ask you. If they don't, one of the things that you want to ask for is a vaginal estrogen.
Yes.
So a vaginal estrogen is going to also decrease your chances of bladder infections. It's going to decrease your chances of, there's just so many benefits.
And it doesn't matter if you have a uterus or you don't have a uterus. That is actually...
Yeah, because I don't.
Besides the point. The whole idea of that is not to do with just sex. It has to do with bodily function.
Yes. Yeah, because...
And I wish they would tell young kids, when these young kids that is talking about how we're all created in a blueprint, and you're in between your ages of 15 to 25 when you're sexually most active, and because your body's producing the best amount of hormones because it wants to actually make babies, and you want to stop that. And I understand birth control is part of that. But lubrication, how many times have you come across somebody who says sex hurts, and the first time it hurts the most, and your mothers and your family is going to tell you, oh, when you do it for the first time, it's going to hurt you. Why does it have to hurt you?
Because it's not supposed to. And that's the thing, is because we have been trained into believing that. Because again, this is where I always go back to the education. Because we're not actually properly taught sex education, we are taught abstinence only education.
And now we're talking about consent.
Yes.
But we're not talking about how women need to be supported.
But that's also where consent comes in. The consent to educate me about my body, the consent to help my male partner understand how my body is actually working. It's not just consent to, have penis vagina sex. It's consent to understand, right? And kind of have a better understanding. And I feel like it's almost like a two-edged sword, because even sometimes working in the schools and listening to the fact that a grade 6 teacher, grade 5 teacher, grade 4 teacher is the one who has to actually do their sex ed, when that's not what they went to school. And I empathize with them so much, because they're reading from the curriculum. Now, any one of you can actually pull up the sex education curriculum, Ontario, especially if you're in Ontario, you can actually pull it up. None of it has anything to do with non-binary, it has nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with your anatomy and understanding your anatomy. And also it is more abstinence only than it is here. How do you do? They're not teaching them how to,
or supporting them.
No,
in that.
No, it is, here's the information that we hope that you'll use. I do think that we can do a better job at actually providing them with the best possible information, because then I feel like when I educate you, you are more likely going to make a more informed choice for yourself. Never mind, let's throw consent out there, which is a blessing in disguise. But the more information I have, the easier it is for me to make a choice for myself.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right? And I feel like it kind of reminds me of like buying a car. When you tell me, okay, so this particular vehicle and this vehicle, they cost the same. However, this vehicle is, you know, you've got your XYZ ratings, but the ratings are that way because X, Y, and Z.
Yes.
And this car has the ratings. However, it doesn't have, or you can make an informed decision.
I'm with
and
you.
I feel like when we come to sex education for younger people, they're not given that.
No.
And it blows my mind because when you look at the European countries, they're so far ahead where sex, intimacy, sexuality, sensuality is all talked about at the dinner table. And if you look at this too, I hope you're ready for this, they have a lower incidence of STIs, they have a lower incidence of teen pregnancy, they have a lower incidence of those things. Why do you think that is? Because they're making informed choices for themselves. Like, anyways, so lubrication. So generally, I always talk about using, again, a water-based lubrication, especially for finger play, toy play, penis play. If by chance you are somebody who is perimenopausal, menopausal, let me see where the other ones are, hold on. You're gonna look at something, either a hybrid lubrication, and a hybrid lubrication is gonna be a mix of water-based and silicone. So it's gonna stay a little bit longer, give a little bit more slip, a little bit more glide. And the reason for that is because when we have actual intercourse with a penis, specifically, you create microscopic tears on the inside of the vaginal walls. And people always say, do you pee right after having sex? That's the worst possible thing to do, because when you do, that's where yeast infections, bladder infection, that's how that happens, right?
They tell you to pee.
Right.
The biggest thing is you need to go to the bathroom right after.
However, you should be going to the bathroom before anyways. But, you know, but this is what happens is people automatically assume, it's the same thing for squirting, same thing ejaculation, right? We assume that, oh my God, I gotta pee, but you just went to the bathroom before, and if you actually feel, because it comes out of the urethra, there is always going to be like 0.25% of urine that's left over.
But
that's not right. But that's not actually the fluid that actually comes out. So back to our friend. So again, you're going to use. I always tell people lubrication is like your shoes.
Ooh,
yes,
shoes.
Well, think about it. I have a pair of shoes that when I go shopping, these are the shoes that I wear. When I know I'm doing a Costco run, I'm doing a mall, I'm doing a lot of walking, these are my shoes, right? That's my water-based, that's my water-based, my everyday kind of like, this is the one I'm using on a regular everyday basis.
Okay.
Oh wait, let me see where the other one is. Then you have my, hold on, let me see. I know she's in here. Oh, where did I put her?
Do you pull two other things out?
Yes, I know, but wait,
we're missing it.
No, I know I brought it. So then you're going to look at, I knew it.
Woohoo!
Okay, I'll talk about that one in a minute. But okay, so your water. I
just read that.
Yeah, so your water-based lubrication is going to be, like I said, your everyday. Like I'm just.
Yeah.
My quickie.
Living my life. Yes.
My quickie.
Your quickie. Got
right?
It. Mm-hmm.
So then you are looking at, okay. Then you're also going to look at your hybrid. If you're that person who's like, you know what, I like the feel of a silicone, but I really, because the feel of a silicone, it's going to be for your, silicone is like your back door or your marathon sex. Because I'm going and going and going and going and going. Yes.
Unless you're allergic to silicone.
However, these are all pH balanced. These are also all vegan products.
Can you explain pH balanced?
Okay, I'll explain that in a minute. So, so again, so that's the other reason why you want to do like a mix of a hybrid and a silicone, especially if you have a sensitivity to it, because you're getting the best of both worlds without the irritation of a typical silicone.
So the reason I'm asking you about that is because you are bringing in the certified goods. That's not what we're getting if I go to a Shoppers or a store. For example, there's a couple stores here in Ottawa, and I wouldn't know what to be looking for.
Yeah.
So the difference is what I'm asking.
Yeah. Well, and that's the other reason why I always tell people, like, people can message me, they have questions. My inbox is really interesting, to say the least, and people will ask all the time. I'm like, okay, so here's a product for this, here's a product for that. I mean, and I do, even in my consultations.
It's like makeup.
Yeah.
Bajillion things out there.
Oh, yes. And then you'll have, again, a strictly silicone-based lubrication. So you have your water-based is my everyday,
Okay.
right? My silicone are my, can I say this? My come fuck me pumps. Okay.
Say whatever you want.
Right? My silicone are my come fuck me pumps. Then my hybrid is, I'm going to work, but I have a date after work. Because that's a different type of shoe that you're wearing, right? You need them comfortable for work, but I also want to be cute when I go to my date.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So those are your different silicone. Those are your different lubrications, and you need a lubrication for all of those things, because
it's not a one-stop shop.
No, you should not, because you're never going to use a water-based lubrication for the back door.
Yes.
Right?
Hopefully not, because that wouldn't work.
Well, right, because it's literally going to soak all of it in, so you're going to have not a really good experience, where that's the reason why you want to have a silicone specifically for that. Then you're looking at all those different lubrications, and people are like, why do I need all the different ones? We got different orifices. Just saying. Just saying. So then I also want to talk about using a vaginal moisturizer.
Oh, wait. As a lubricant or as a moisturizer? As a skincare?
Yes.
Because, you know, that skin.
Yes.
Please take care of it.
Yes. So I always tell people, because somebody asked me this a long time ago, well, why would I use a moisturizer? I was like, So back in the day, they would say brown don't crack, right? And one of the reasons for that is because we moisturize our skin.
Yes, well, you have to. I hope everybody moisturizes their skin.
But a lot of people don't. A lot of people do not understand the benefits of moisturizing, right? So if I'm moisturizing my face, right?
Yeah.
My largest organ.
Yes.
Why would I not moisturize my most sensitive organ?
Yeah, I don't know. Why wouldn't you? You should.
You should, but again, we're never taught that that's something we should do.
Yeah.
And especially
I don't think it's ever been taught.
No, and people don't. They just don't, because they don't know.
Instinctive.
Yes. You just wash and go.
Yeah.
It is what it is. It's supposed to be this way. No, and I know there's a lot of people who have a thing about the word moist and whatever, but here's the thing is, I would rather moist and supple than dried up.
Got it.
And disappearing.
100%. 100%.
So this is where you're going to use a vaginal moisturizer. Now, vaginal moisturizer, like something like this one here, like there's a few different brands, a few Canadian brands.
So what's the difference between something like a specifically vaginal moisturizer and like a body moisturizer?
A vaginal moisturizer is designed for internal. It's pH balanced, so it's not going to mess up your pH.
And you're saying pH balance.
So your pH is, again, we have natural, I'm trying to think of the word,
acidity,
microbiomes and things like that are inside of your body, right? And a lot of times this is where a lot of women who are having sex, say with multiple different partners without using condoms, without using anything, can get a yeast infection. Because you're screwing with that pH,
the microbiome,
right? And I'm just using that as an example.
No, it's a good example.
But, or you go and get a transvaginal ultrasound and they use the probe, and they use ultrasound jelly.
Yeah, that's what they use.
Yeah. So they put ultrasound jelly on the end of the probe.
Yes, they do.
On the end of a condom. But not one person ever asks you if you have an allergy to latex or if you have an allergy to anything. You walk out of there, you feel like you birthed a jellyfish, and then you notice a week or two later, you have sex with your partner, you're like, wait, now I have a yeast infection, or I have a bladder infection.
Or a UTI.
Or a UTI, yeah. You totally mess with your total microbiome of your vaginal tissues and everything else.
Because it's a whole world in itself
Yes.
over there.
Yes.
That's where this comes in.
So this is where utilizing something that is pH balanced to your body, which means I use it, which means there's no chemicals in it. There's no microbiomes that are added to it.
Yes.
Whereas a lot of products have microbiomes that are added to it for the longevity of shelf life.
Got it.
Right?
Understood.
They're added to those kind of things. Whereas using something like a water-based vaginal moisturizer, you're using it 2-3 times a week. So you're keeping everything supple. You're keeping everything healthy. It's also helping to regenerate any of the tissue that is being lost, especially during perimenopause, because you're losing the elasticity.
Yeah, the folds.
Yeah, you're losing all of that. And because remember we had that conversation at your event that as you age, if you are not, again, taking care of your lady bits, your vulva, what happens is it will disappear, and not for every woman. So that's the other thing that I think people need to understand. But you will notice a difference in either sensitivity.
Yeah.
Or either you get heightened sensitivity. I put a pair of pants on or put a pair of panties on. You're like, whoa, that really is a little bit too much, right? Mm-hmm. Intense sensitivity or decreased sensitivity. Mm-hmm. And or the folds of the labia will slowly shrink inward. Yeah. Because it's elasticity, it's tissue. And if there is no blood flow, and that's where utilizing, and I'll just take this one out, utilizing something like a heated toy. Something that has hot and cold.
There's also heated lubricants.
You do not want to mess with those. I'm going to leave that alone. We'll do another conversation all about lubrication. Yeah, don't mess with those.
Got it.
You don't need to heat nothing up. You want something heated?
I just saw it and I was like, I don't know what
and you're like, ooh, what is that?
Yeah.
So you want to use toys that give that sensory pleasure.
Okay.
Right? Because think about it. I want it.
Yeah.
But I don't really want my partner to touch me, or it feels weird when my partner touches me, right? Yeah. And there's some women who are like, it's just either that time of the month or it's not, or I just don't wanna.
Yeah, I just don't wanna.
I just wanna have sex with you, but I don't wanna hear you talk because I'm irritated with you. Like, I love you, but please don't say anything.
Don't breathe.
Right? Don't moan, don't do anything. I just, it is what it is. And I feel like some people are like, oh my God, you feel like that? Everybody does every once in a while.
Does.
Okay, so we're going to, and I'm not going to talk about names of products right now, but
that's fine.
So with this one here, again, because it is handheld, you can use it across your body or your partner's body. You can, let me see my friend. No, let me see my friend.
I'm also your friend?
Yes, because I'm going to give it to you. So you can use, because it's handheld, you can actually use it along the folds of the labia. The inner outer labia. You can choose to actually use it on the clitoris. Now, this particular toy has hot and cold. Okay. So, allowing your body to feel those sensitivities, you're able to actually get different sensations, which then send the signals to the brain. Oh, I like this. I want more of this.
Okay, hold on.
All right, so again, one of the other things about something like this one here, it's non-invasive. It's non-intimidating. Again, it's a massager, right?
So, like an egg.
Yeah. And again, it's nice because it's handheld. There's also vibration. So because you have this bar here, and I'm going to give it to you, but you have the different sensations. So I can either have it hot or I can have it cold. So I'm going to actually turn it on the cold.
Thank you.
And what I want you to do, so just feel right here. And you feel it's now starting to get cold. So you can use, and whether you are a solo queen like me, or a partner, you can be like, I want to do some sensory play before we get to the good stuff. So this is where utilizing something like this can allow your body to warm up to, because I do like to tell people too that, and I just turned it up, I do like to tell people too that women are more like microwave ovens, women are more like crock pots and men are more like microwave ovens.
Because they get heated too fast?
Not even heated. Because they see you, they're attracted to you, they love you, they want to be with you. That's that quickie, what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas for us, I need a warm up. Like, I need you to tell me that I'm pretty. I need you to smack my butt.
They're like button turn on. And
like and it's not like that for everyone.
This is cool.
Yeah, so you can turn the cold off and then you can turn the heat on.
I like that.
So, right, see? So how would you know what you like unless you're willing to explore? So, and this is why some of the parties were so fun, is because I bring a plethora to allow people to explore in a more private and more intimate space, where they can, you know, laugh and giggle with their friends, and they can ask those questions that they've always wanted to ask without feeling intimidated by being in a big box store or something like that. I do the same thing in my consultations, but so the other thing,
Wow. Okay.
so this one I really want to show because we talked about that clitoral sensation, right? So with the clitoral sensation, you also have, I'm going to show you a wand. So
I like the weight of it too.
yeah, because there's enough that you're like, okay, I'm doing it. So I'm going to show you a wand, which is one of my absolute favorite because it just looks so pretty. And again, the size is perfect. Now, there's two different ones, obviously. One's heated, the other one's not. Because there's some people who
I
need...
didn't know that exists.
Yeah, because there's some people who need the external stimulation, and that's where the blood flow, right? So where did she go? So again, so you've got blood flow, just direct clitoral. You're bringing the blood flow up, which is going to also help with that lubrication.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, because that's
so you're bringing all of that, and it's just play, soft, sensual, or hard, fast, whatever somebody likes, but it gives you the option of trying something different, right? Because again, as we talked earlier, the clitoris, this is only the outside, and the clitoris actually wraps in and around on the inside. Upper,
yeah,
and down the vestibule,
yeah,
right? Whereas the only thing that you see
is the
and some women's clitorises are larger than others,
yep,
and which means they need a little bit more. Some women are like, I need a jackhammer, and some people are like, I need a feather. Like, which one do you want, right? So this is where, oh yeah, like,
okay,
yeah. Oh, where did I? Oh, so I'm gonna give you this so you can feel this, and again, just a light massage, and it's something that you can use with your partner, on your partner.
That is cool.
For a really, really good deep tissue massage. If you're like, I want massage, I need to relax my body. How do you do that?
These are so different in terms of devices.
Yes. And then,
because the only thing, like not the only thing, but like for the most part, like in common knowledge, you know, you have the ones that you use on the inside.
Internally, yes.
Yeah, internally. But like these are...
Yes.
These are like
external,
fun external ones.
Well, and that's also because, like I said, the more studies that are coming, the more sexologists and sex coaches that are actually doing a lot of the studies and looking at and asking women questions, we're able to actually kind of know this is what actually women are asking for. And now more women are getting into designing bedroom accessories that they wanted.
Then we're gonna get it right.
Right? So then
That's how that works.
So the next one that we're gonna talk about, this one here is one of my personal favorites, one of my personal top sellers as well. And the reason for that is because...
It's very pretty.
Thank you. Is because of the design. So, and I'm gonna give quick synopsis again, right? So you have clitoral. Now, most, not all, most women, missionary position, doggy style position, and in the doggy style position, we are either leaning into something for the pressure, right? Or our partner is reaching around and doing the whole DJ booth. Guys, stop. It's not a DJ booth, like slow your roll, right? Whereas because the clitoris, the whole purpose of the clitoris is pleasure. So you're gonna use something like this where it has a sucking function.
Oh, that's what that is.
Except it's air pulse technology. So it's not
Sorry, what?
Air. So air is actually what comes out.
Oh.
So it's air. Air is what creates the vibration instead of direct vibration. Because like I said, everybody's different. Some people are like, I need a jackhammer. And other people are like, I need a little something small, something that is like, oh, kind of like angels sucking on your clitoris. like oh, that's so soft and sensual. So again, what I'll do, and I give it to you, I'm going to have you hold it this way so you can feel what it actually feels like. And then you're like, oh, that feels like vibration. It's not. It's actually air, right?
That is so interesting.
And because this is literally the perfect wrap around my partner toy,
I can see that.
right? So it's a wraparound. Again, solo pleasure or partnered pleasure. So again, with something like this, it is, and always using lubrication, right?
Yes, we
Because that's your protection, right? So constant stimulation, and or if you're like, no, I need the blood flow, I need that blood flow, and with that blood flow, you're also bringing everything to life.
That's right.
Everything's like, oh, it's vibrant, it's fun over here, I want to play here. You know what I mean? Which is then going to help to create some of that natural lubrication that we already produce, but during marathon sex, it gets taken away. Right? So what I'm going to do is I'll give it to you, and you can either hold it like this, use the fattest part of your finger, and or you can literally kind of, on the top of your hand, you're not going to feel as much because you need something a little bit more. So again, and then I'll take that one. So again, direct clitoral stimulation on that.
This is air?
Yes. Lady's best friend. I'm not even playing. Lady's best friend.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Because again, fun fact. So bedroom accessories, sex toys, whatever, when, I think it was the 40s, 50s, they were designed. They were in Sears catalogs.
Yes.
Right?
I remember
but
that.
Until the porn industry started pulling them into the porn industry, they were household devices. They were devices to help with what they called back in the day hysteria. So you are kind of looking at fast forward, it's not necessarily male-centric in they're the ones that are designing and creating toys based off of what they see and experience. It's now women who are coming into an industry that's designed not just for partnered pleasure, but for their own pleasure. So they're now designing toys that are specifically designed around where we actually need the pleasure centers, on the clitoris, on the labia.
That makes sense.
You know, never mind the fact that, again, you know, the hit it and quit it kind of like I'm getting in, getting out, you know what I mean, what people think, right? But there's other parts of our bodies that need to be touched. And a lot of times partners forget because they're so excited or not excited, you know what I mean? All of those things. So that's where a lot of that comes in,
This is science.
Yeah, and it's my favorite. Like, it really, you know, I'm like, you get an orgasm, you get an orgasm, you get an okay.
You're like the opera of orgasms.
Yes. and right, and even if it's not that, it is you get to explore your body now. Because something else that I would love to make sure that I message home is your body when you were 18, 19, 20, to like say 25, you're experiencing, right? I'm learning. I'm kind of going through the motions. Like, oh, that's good. That's not good. This is what I know. This is what I like. I go into my 30s, late 20s, early 30s. You're like, maybe have had children, maybe not have had children. So then your body's going through another shift and change. Mm-hmm. Then you're going through what you may know now as perimenopause. Your body is going to shift and change, and it's not just your weight, it's not just your hair, it is your skin, it is your body functioning. So understanding that this is natural, number one. Number two, trusting and believing that if you don't like it, you can change it. You don't have to feel the pain or the irritability of experiencing anything new. And your body is designed to evolve with you, which means what I liked in my 20s is not what I like now. You might have liked somebody who smacked your ass and called you pretty when you were 20, because it was, you know what I mean? But then when you get into your later stages of life, you want that soft, sensual, because that's something else that I learned while going through my program is when we are younger, it's about sex.
That's what I was saying, the blueprint.
Yeah, it's about sex.
Yes.
As we transition, I believe, transition into the most ecstatic stage of our lives, it becomes sensuality.
Yes. I love that you said
right?
that.
Like it literally, that's what it becomes.
Yes.
It's a more intense, sensual experience.
Yes.
Whereas when we're younger, it's about getting in, getting out, having the babies, doing all the things and all the things.
Because it's built like that.
Yes.
That is the way the system is built.
Yes.
Yeah.
So then this ecstatic stage or phase of your life can be one of the most incredible awakenings of who you were designed and created to be. And that can start with a yoga class, that starts with, you know, like going for a walk. It can start with just hydrating your body. It can also start with having a conversation about the things that are really uncomfortable.
Because now you're giving yourself that space.
Yeah.
You're giving yourself that grace.
Yeah.
Because you've passed all those other stages. And now you're here.
Yeah.
And this allows you to be you in the full gamut.
Yeah. And that might look different.
It does look different.
Yeah. And it might mean,
It does look different.
I need to ask some more questions. Like, is it supposed to be like this? I'm like, I always ask when somebody says, is it supposed to, do you like it? If you like it, it's supposed to feel like that. If you don't,
Then it's not.
then it's not. You can shift that, right? But the questions that I get asked all the time is it supposed to look like that? Is it supposed to feel like that? Is it supposed to? Do you want it to? You know what I mean? Like, how do you want it? How is it that you want your body to feel?
But also to know that, you'd have to explore.
Which is why you get to work with me, because then I get to help you to explore.
Open up and see what the options are. Understand how you function, how your body functions.
Yeah, because like I said, your body back then is not the same way. And then especially if you are somebody who's birthed a child, your body is now going to respond to things very differently based on that experience in itself, right?
Yep.
And then if you've also had trauma, if you had different things, your body responds differently.
Yep.
So how can you learn to accept your body right here, right now, weight gain, weight loss, ups, downs, all of the things without a little bit of guidance and permission to have a little bit of fun?
Give yourself some permission, ladies. Give yourself some permission to have a little bit of fun. And I think we underestimate fun.
Yes.
I think, especially women, we are told to underestimate fun. And I think Tamilynn and I are trying to tell you that, please, it's not underrated. Let's
I'm like, I feel like adult play dates.
Yeah.
When you get to a certain stage, you need adult play dates. Tell your partner, I want a play date. Schedule it.
I agree.
And maybe this is the last thing I'll say. Scheduling sex is the most important thing that you can do if you are in a long-term relationship.
Tell me why.
Okay. First and foremost, I'm just going to ask you this question. So when you were dating your husband, did you not schedule dates?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, we had to.
Right.
Yeah.
But in the very beginning, you schedule a date. And based on different cultures and whatever, right? Yeah. So we schedule those dates. Originally, those initial scheduled dates were not scheduled to have sex. They were scheduled to meet and learn and get to know one another. Eventually, when you made the decision to be committed, you are now scheduling those dates with the expectation of sex.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Right?
Yes.
We all did it.
Yeah.
And still do. Then we fall into our roles as husband and wife, our roles as parents, our roles as employees living under the same roof. And we have sex when we can. We have sex when we get a minute. We have sex when the kids aren't home. We have sex, but we're not scheduling anything. So then we feel separate. We feel apart. Whereas all of those same things were present in your life when you were dating. All of those same things were present in your life when you were dating. But our perspective shifts. So this is why it's important. Especially if you are somebody who truly and honestly values the connection with your partner. And eventually, and I always tell people, eventually those kids are leaving. Eventually your parents, regardless of cultural norms and things, eventually your parents will move on.
It'll just be the you.
Regardless of where they're moving on to. If you do not want a roommate, If you do not want a roommate, you need to prioritize the time that you spend with your partner intimately. It needs to be scheduled, because otherwise, so-and-so called and needs me over here. Oh, my job, I'm doing extra hours this week. Oh, I pick up overtime. Time flies, and you can't remember the last time you were intimate, you were sexual, you were sensual with your partner. And eventually what happens is there's the disconnect and that distance and that feeling something is wrong. Why would you even get into the something is wrong when you don't have to? It is a priority. And I'll use this as an example. It is a priority. I have adult children and grandchildren. It is a priority for me, living the life that I choose to live. It is a priority for me to spend time with my kids as adults. 1 week out of the year, I do not work. I do not bring my phone. I do not bring my laptop.
Oh, wow. That's wonderful.
At all. Right? They get 1 whole week out of the year. The rest of the year, I'm present.
Yeah.
We still connect.
But you're not dedicated.
Right.
Yeah.
Those are my children.
That's right.
When you are in a committed long-term relationship, how do you expand that past the right here, right now? Because you guys are only focusing on the last, oh, well, we've been together 23 years. How much longer can you do another 23 years? In the current state that you are in, and this isn't just for you, but for anybody else, can you currently continue to do what you are currently doing right now? Running kids around, running family around, doing all of the things, and still stay as connected? Probably not. Because it gets busier.
It does get busy.
Right? So if you do not prioritize that, so I always think of it 3, 3, and 3. Minimum every 3 weeks.
Okay.
You do a date night out.
Okay.
Every 3 months, you do like a weekend.
Okay.
Or you can even do every 3 days, you do a intimate connection. Whether it's just us just sitting here, no kids, no family. Whether it's I go for a walk, it's just us. And we don't talk about the kids, we don't talk about our parents, and we don't talk about work. Those are because you didn't when you were dating. You didn't when you were dating.
Okay.
So how do you get to know the woman that you've become now? The woman that you were 23 years ago is not the woman that I'm sitting across from. That's not who you are. You have evolved into somebody completely different. Not to say that she doesn't exist, but you are a completely different woman. Because back then, you were not a mother. You didn't go through motherhood. You didn't watch your parents go through the things. You didn't do those things. You have now 23 years of experience that you didn't have then. So the conversations are different. Right? So you do every 3 days. It's a priority. Whether it's a walk after work, whether it's like whatever it is, 3 days, 3 weeks. Every 3 weeks, we need either a weekend away or a full day
with each other.
Full day with each other. Doing the things you guys like. Or learning something new. I hate paddleboarding, but you do. I'm going to go with you. Right? Like doing something outside. And it doesn't have to be outside of the house. And it doesn't have to be something that costs money, right?
It needs to be something dedicated.
And so you can do, and then every 3 months, it should be a weekend away. Because it's 3 days. Rest, recharge, right? Rest, recharge, and reconnect. And how can you reconnect when you have everything and everybody else pulling at you?
Yes.
You can't. But those have to be the requirements on the table. No work, no family. I mean, and you're always going to have the ping from the family and the ping from the kids, but that can't be the focus of the conversations. How about the focus of the conversation? So you've been going to yoga. Do you notice a difference in your body? So like, have you thought about any new hobbies? Something different.
It almost sounds like
you're dating a new person.
Well, kind of, but very similar to how you would spend that one-on-one girlfriend time.
Yes.
Where you really just talk. You don't talk about.
Yes.
Just you and I having a you and I conversation.
Yes. And most people don't do that with their partners.
It can't be that hard to do it with your partner, right? Like, it shouldn't be.
It shouldn't be, but because we don't do it, this is the reason why we saw such a surge during COVID.
Of people breaking up?
Yes, that's why. It's because people never did that. Because I know a lot of people.
I do too.
And many of them were able to find something more meaningful, and others, it was extremely difficult for them. But that's one of the reasons why, is because we believed, and this is the world, this is the life that we've designed and that we created, but we forgot to live the life together while we were on the journey. It's the same thing as your intimate life, your sensual life, your sexual life. We forgot to show up together. 3 days, 3 weeks, 3 months.
Wow.
and like I said, and when I do my coaching programs, and then I have an actual coaching program that I'm doing, so it's literally 6 weeks to rest, basically rest and recharge, right? It's sensual reset. Literally, sensually reset your sensuality, reset your mindset, either with or without a partner, is literally what's launching in the fall. And I'm excited because I feel like people need the reminder and the permission to be okay with where they are right now, and know that if they want more, they can have more. And it's not being selfish. And it's not being anything other than, I'm like, stop putting labels on all the things. Because you feel the way you feel, it's valid. It's just a matter of if you decide to stay there or not. If you don't want to stay there, come join me. Have a little bit of fun.
This is powerful stuff. I thought it was going to be a super fun conversation. This got deeper and so much more profound than
Yeah.
But then I'm not surprised, because it kind of is.
Yeah. It needs to, and I feel like these are the conversations
that we grow from.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's going back to where the seed, how healthy that is.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay. I don't know. So I have a couple. I went from being very hot and
right, and now you're like, I got
bothered
goosebumps.
to be like,
She's like, I got goosebumps right now.
I do, actually.
Good.
Because we don't think about things this way.
No.
Especially if you've been together for so long. Like, a lot of the things are, you take each other for granted. And a lot of the granted stuff is where the problem starts. Like, and then there is expectations, and there's expectations of intimacy, which women don't necessarily start. You waiting for your partner to, initiate intimacy. And then you're just sitting there not knowing that you could do it too.
Yes, and I think that's again another whole conversation about desire, arousal, and understanding the stops and the starts and the breaks, and understanding that, yes, I may have been more assertive when I was younger, and now I'm not as assertive. Yeah. So your partner doesn't understand that either, right?
No.
Like, she used to be a cougar running around here, jumping all, and now I notice that she's not, as. So then they feel
fun anymore.
Right. So then they pull back because they don't have the words to say either.
No, they don't.
Because,
and we cannot just blame men for any of this.
No,
we have to be very smart.
Well, and it's not even just that. It's a matter of taking onus and taking responsibility for who you are, where you are, and what you want.
Yeah,
and then from that responsibility, offering to your partner. Do you want to join me? Because it feels a little uncomfortable. Do you know what I mean? And having some of that back and forth.
Beautiful.
And sometimes that's where I get to come in, where I get to be
coaching.
Yeah, and that's where I get to be the mediator, the moderator in between.
To teach language.
Yeah.
I like it.
And really ask the questions to make you think like, oh no, I actually wasn't thinking that. But yeah, actually I noticed that she doesn't actually initiate, so I never really know. And I'm like, okay, so what is it for you? Is it just the touch on the shoulder? Is it like, how do you want to be approached?
Yeah.
And that's where kind of relearning and understanding what works. That's the reason why the 3 days, 3 weeks, 3 months.
I got it.
Because you get to relearn some of those things.
That is definitely reinforced.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Wow. Tamilynn, I mean, I think this unending conversation.
I know, right? You're like,
can just.
Oh.
I've got so much more that I could
That's
like talk
okay.
about, but you know what? We should reconvene. I think
Yeah,
this is wow, fantastic.
Or you can even email me.
I'll email you.
Yeah, email me some of the questions, and if you want, I can even respond to some of the questions, and at a later time, you can even be like, okay, so Tamilynn, these are the. If you want to do that,
We can do all kinds of things, and I
Yeah.
know you're here and you're coming back again,
Yes.
and we're going to see more of you because I have the opportunity to pull you in.
Yes. I'm so excited.
So happy for that. This is amazing. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, my dear.
Oh my God. I don't want to let you go.
Right, and now, and you are very
Cold
chilly now.
See, I'm telling you.
Right?
You have made my seasons change.
Right? The hot flash showed up and was like, and now you're like, okay.
That crazy hot flash was crazy. Anyway, and now I'm back to my normal temperatures.
Yeah.
Cold feet, cold hands. That's how
you're
I
like,
live.
I got it, warm heart.
Amazing. Please watch this whole episode. I would really highly encourage you. Extremely grateful for Tamilynn to be here and share so much. I cannot even say nuggets. These are like encyclopedias, like of information and experiences and knowledge, and we couldn't even fully touch like the biology part of it.
Yeah.
Like, so we're gonna probably do another one for that.
Yeah.
But until then, bye-bye.
Bye.
I'm sorry, did we forget all about that?
I know, right? You're like, okay.
I just couldn't. I'm like, wait, there's more here. Wait, there's more. There's more. I don't think I can go back to that yet. Wait, there's more. I'm like, wow, this was. How much fun was this?
Lots. I'm like, lots.
I love this. Mm-hmm. It's like the best girlfriend conversation.
I know. Well, and it's funny because I would tell people, I'm like, I really miss having those conversations with people who actually want to learn, because I feel like that's the other thing. You also have that population of people who are, and I don't like to use the word shy because they do use the word shy, and I was like, no, that's not being shy.
It's prudish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very closed off, and you've been put in a box to feel shame.
Yeah.
To not ask those questions.
I feel bad for people that have to go through that because world is a fantastic place. Your bodies
and
are
it can definitely
that
be
song, my favorite song.
What song?
Your body is a wonderland.
Oh yes,
it's my favorite song. my favorite song.
Right? Because it is.
Because of course it is.
Right?
And if you don't realize that your body is a wonderland,
you're like, I don't know.
Then you're missing. You're left behind.
Yes, yes. And then
you mentioned something about sexuality and sensuality and how that gets confused. And
yes,
I love that you said that because it is so true. And the other thing is that even like people will look at you differently. They're gonna sexualize your sensuality and think that makes you more available or approachable to those kind of conversations. Whereas I'm sorry, my femininity is not an object of. Okay, I'm gonna start with me introducing you, and we're gonna dive right in.
Oh, dive in, baby. Dive
All right.
in.
What did I do?
Right there. Oh. It is what it is.
The coffee hasn't kicked in yet.
That's why I was like, no, I need coffee. I haven't had coffee.
All right.